For comic book fans and PlayStation 4 gamers, Spider-Man is one of the hottest games of the year so far. Insomniac have done a great job of bringing the Marvel web-slinger to life, and have created a game with loads of hidden extras, which we're going to tell you about today. Before we begin, subscribe to TheGamer and ring that bell to join our notification squad so you never miss a video. Stan Lee. With great power comes great responsibility. This is pretty much the entire ethos of the Spider-Man franchise as Peter Parker struggles to match up his duties as a nephew, boyfriend, and student with those of being a crime-fighting superhero. Now, Insomniac had the great power to make a video game people would love, but they had the great responsibility of living up to one man's arachnoid vision. Stan Lee is one of the biggest and best-known artists in comic book history. Spider-Man, which he came up with all the way back in 1962, is probably his most famous creation, but he's also responsible for the Incredible Hulk, the Fantastic Four, and the quite interesting Ant-Man. Since becoming the public face of Marvel, he's kept on promoting his work and creations, and even though he's well into his 90s, he shows no signs of slowing down. He pops up in Spider-Man as the voice of Mick, the owner of the restaurant Peter and MJ go to at the beginning of the game. He's also appeared in every Spider-Man film since 2002, as well as pretty much every other Marvel movie you could think of. This does make us wonder if the bigger Easter egg might be that he didn't have a cameo. Spidey Signal. While Spider-Man is one of the coolest and most interesting superheroes around, it would be foolish in the extreme to think that he's the only comic book character out there, or the only one who's inspired some great video games. Heck, we aren't even sure if he has the single best track record of comic icons in games. Do you remember the earlier Spider-Man games and Superman 64? We hope not, because those games were pure trash, but luckily not all superhero video games were terrible before Spider-Man for PS4. There have been some pretty amazing Batman games based on various bits of the franchise. While our favorite is probably Arkham Asylum, there have been plenty of great and enjoyable games featuring Bruce Wayne and Gotham City. We don't want to say too much though, because we know there's the whole DC versus Marvel rivalry, but we think it's true. Whether the DC-verse crosses over to the Marvel-verse is a bit controversial, but it's hinted at in Spider-Man. When Spider-Man jokes about how useful a Spidey Signal would be, he comes to his senses and says, "Nah, we don't want to get sued." Is this a nod and a wink to Batman, or is it acknowledgement that the two characters know each other? If it's the latter, then it's probably a good idea. Bruce Wayne has way more money than Peter Parker and could hire his very own Bat-Turney to sue the web off Spidey. Empire State University. One of the reasons why Marvel has been so successful is just how well drawn out and linked their universe is. There's one great example, and it's something which, luckily enough, finds its way into Spider-Man. Peter Parker is an alumni of Empire State University, along with Dr. Doom, the Human Torch, and Emma Frost, and ESU makes an appearance in the game. It's not a big role, more of a cameo, but it's there. We would have loved to have gone to the parties with the Empire State students. Actually, we wouldn't have. We suspect that they wouldn't have ended well. All those superpowers in such a small, confined space seems like an invitation for dangerous stuff to happen. Spider Clone. The internet revitalizes and revives things people had thought they'd forgotten and gives them a new, weird second life. Whether it's 80s pop sensation Rick Astley's 1987 smash hit becoming the soundtrack to a million pranks, or a screen cap from popular but not that popular reality show American Chopper going viral, things are always coming back in a weird way. This is why when Spider-Man makes a throwaway line about how much crime is going on, saying he'll need to clone himself, internet meme lovers punched the air. Hey, is there a meme for that? Probably. Anyway, the reason it happened was because it referenced something which, even if they don't read comments, meme lovers all over the web know. For once, Spidey's creating the web, rather than the web creating Spider-Man. Something like that anyway. Back in the 70s, Spider-Man got a clone. This was a bad idea for Peter Parker because it led to Gwen Stacy dying. Then, in the 90s, the clone was brought back, creating a long, convoluted saga which was loved by some and loathed by others. However, the reason why this became so iconic is because someone somewhere got a picture of the two clones pointing at each other, put some text under it, and a meme was born. Tyler's Tragic Proposal. We've all seen them at sporting events and big music concerts. Someone, somewhere in the crowd, wants to get married to their partner. They hold up a sign asking their significant other to be their spouse. Now, usually, their GF or BF spots this sign, looks shocked but happy, and they usually say yes. The emphasis is on usually. Anyway, it's an old trope, but like the best old tropes, it works in a modern setting. In fact, if there are a couple of gamers together, what could be a better way to propose than through the medium of a video game? We can't think of one. And and neither could gamer Tyler Schultz, who asked the game's makers for help in popping the question to his girlfriend Maddie. Insomniac asked if he could wait until September 7th, and Tyler said it was fine because they'd been together for 5 years. So if you look on a movie marquee, you'll see the question. Unfortunately, there's an answer. For whatever reason, maybe she didn't want to wait for the game to come out. Maddie left Tyler, leaving this as the worst reminder of a relationship breakup ever, and leaving Tyler with a new feature in Spider-Man, the unending tears difficulty level. So let this be a lesson. Don't use a video game to propose. It'll only make it worse. There you have it. What's your favorite Spider-Man secret? Did we leave any good ones out? Let us know in the comments section below. And don't forget to subscribe to The Gamer for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching.